figuring out how to utilize, even once I get things, how to utilize them, not only just for my betterment, but for the betterment of someone else out there in the world. All right. Now, the intention, I'm trying to help as many people as possible out in the world, it's that particular premise. That's why a lot of things ended up starting. It's why there's so many different gameplay videos. It's why we got the podcast episode. It's why, we got the music. It's honestly why, we doing the photo shoots. It's why so many different things. It's one of those things of rather than even like with great power comes great responsibility. I'm sure y'all know that, but even just to tweak it and amend it to what it is that we're talking about, like with many and great possessions come great responsibilities. You definitely got to figure out how to utilize it and leverage it to, again, help out not only just yourself or not even just one particular person, but try to spread the goodness and the positivity and the benefits all over the place, man, all over the place. So, for me, going back to because I know I went on a tangent, but going back to the concept of minimalism and simplicity, I guess minimalism is definitely not something that I've ever really subscribed to, and it's one of those things where I feel like, I'm not even gonna say I feel like, there's times where I literally tried to go the minimalist route. There are times where, again, I found myself doing a poor job, or being dissatisfied with myself in terms of managing, all the different stuff. And I'll just say all the different stuff in general, whether it be possessions, whether it be just involvements, obligations, responsibilities, things of that particular sort. And every single time that I tried to like regress and let's say just stop altogether, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just not within me. Even as much of a struggle as it is, hey, listen, I got to struggle through it until I see it out on the other side. So that's just sort of that's just how. That's just how I'm not gonna say how I'm raised, but that's just what's ingrained up in my system, man. So I do, it's something about that minimalism that does have me thinking like, that to me that doesn't necessarily apply, but hey, I don't know. But there's other things like, say for instance, purity, innocence, cleanliness, blankness, coldness, emptiness, well, I think I just said simplicity. Some, and even just as I'm going down the list, some of those I do agree with, like the purity, the innocence and cleanliness. I know for me, y'all, I do not want to give off the impression to any of y'all that, say for instance, I'm the most good, or I'm so much of an angel, blase, all that other sort of jazz. But what I do know, and of course many folks that know me know that I'll say this, I definitely do try. And when it comes, listen, I may not be perfect Patty or whatever, but I'm definitely, I've done and doing enough to the point where I haven't just been respectable, just for a short bit of time. I've been respectable and respectful for quite a long time. So when I think it's enough so to the point that me carrying the name Zachariah White, specifically the last name White, and knowing all of hell, even all of the meanings that seem to come with it, even on this particular website, it's everything just sort of, the stars align in that particular respect, as far as like a coldness and emptiness. I mean, yeah, I definitely can speak to some of that coldness, the emptiness, like emptiness. And I think I won't speak too much on it, because I again, there'll be story time for it, but I know, like, it's a crazy thing, because whenever it is, say that I find myself getting hurt, or let's say like something real major going down, that is like, say any normal person, they'd be angry, they'd be upset, they'd be crying, they'd, they'd go through the motions. Whenever it is that I've seen that, whenever it is that I've gotten hit with some really hard blows from life, I'm not gonna hold you, I do feel empty. I feel like, and like empty as in, like, I know I got hit. It's like, oh shit, it happened. But it's one of those weird things where it's like, I got hit, but I can still keep going. And so I do tend to keep going. I do keep, whatever keep going is in that particular situation, I do hold it together, I do hold it strong. And it typically isn't up until, later on, that, like, I see the effects, or feel the impact of what's actually happened. So I guess to some degree, that emptiness, though it may not be in the way that is mentioned on here on the website, but nah, definitely I could speak to that as well. But all in all, yeah, no, that's White. I think that's definitely it, though. It's definitely it. And honestly, and I'm gonna save this because, again, I didn't. This episode isn't gonna be super long, but for the next episodes, I need to make a mental note that, I gotta check out the other colors as well. I would love to know what a pink means, what a yellow means, what a red means as well. So I love to see what that means. But that leads me to the next question that I had, right? In which I won't, spend too much time, but I'm gonna ask y'all this, right? For your guys' name, right? Whatever that they may be, what does your name mean to you? What does your name mean to you? That is a question that I'm not gonna hold you. I was answering that earlier today, because me and a good, and I'm gonna shout this friend of mine out too. Me and a good friend of, and I'll say definitely one of my Dunbar Tigers, Sarai. We were talking a little bit earlier, and what ended we was talking about a number of different things, but she ended up asking me. She was like, hey, like, do you go by Zach, or do you go by Zachariah? I was like, either or, man. This is perfectly fine with me. I've been called, I've been called both of those many times in life. The only thing that I don't like, I guess, the one name that I won't go by, or that I don't like Zachary. Nah, I do not like Zachary. And rest in peace to my mom. My mom never called me Zachary. Yeah, nah, that's not it. And for a little bit of time, like when I was, younger, coming up, right? Well, again, I didn't have to worry too much about it, because, like I said, my mom never called me that. My grandma never called me that. Like maybe some school teacher, and I don't even mean to bring race into it. Like some white school teachers come through, thinking, Zachary, whatever. But nah, for the most part, it's always been Zach or Zachariah. And like, I know I'm going through saying that, but I'm going to tie it all back to the original question of, what does your name, like, what essentially the question is, what does your name mean to you, right? And for me, Zachary never quite. I'm not going by Zachary. Y'all, listen, for all the folks out there, don't listen. Y'all could call me King, Emperor. Y'all could call me Big Daddy Drip, Zachariah. Don't. I'm not answering, and I'm not doing shit to Zachary. And let me say this. This is no disrespect to any of the Zacharys out there, because I've met quite a few Zacharys. I've only met one other Zachariah, but I've met quite a handful of Zacharys, and they've all been pretty cool. And I don't even want to mess around. I'll say this. I'm gonna mention this particular Zachary, like, indirectly, because I don't. Again, guys, the Zachary that I have in mind definitely is cool, upstandable guy. And I do not want for what it is that I'm about to say to come off as a shot in any particular way, because it's not a shot, you know. But whenever it is that I think of the word, like the name Zachary, right? And especially